If President Obama has his way, community college will be free for all in the near future, to which many counter this would be a free for all. It would bring in some students who could barely get past high school and are now taking cash that the taxpayers have out there for a free ride. Hang on, might this actually make America a little bit smarter? So welcome back to MidPoint, the only reporter brave enough to bring us the most politically correct moments on college campuses in 2014, which included such things as roofie detecting nail polish. Reporting for the National Review Online, Katherine Timpf joins us. Katherine, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Somebody has to make sure we get right down to what's happening on the college campuses, right, Katherine?
Yes.
All right, let's get to it with this whole deal now that the president, a nation that is $18 trillion in debt, and yet he wants to make sure that we spend, and I'm going to get this right now, $60 billion over 10 years in a cost-sharing partnership with states. Is that a good idea?
No, a lot of people are saying, well, it'll be a good investment because then these students can get ahead and put money into the economy. But in order for that to be true, they would have to actually graduate. At two-year colleges right now, only 31% of first-time, full-time students graduate within 3 years for two-year programs.
Then if we look at all these numbers, and again, here's another stat. 1/3 to 1/2 of recent college graduates taking jobs that usually go to high school graduates, they are underemployed, still living with their parents and dependent on parental financial support. Is this this almost would seem to many people to be the president sitting at his desk saying, I can say this, I'm going to look real good on this, and I really don't give a darn what anybody else thinks because it's all about me. It does seem like that.
Absolutely, especially because with a Republican-controlled Congress, I highly doubt that this will go through. So that way he just gets to say, you know what? I tried to give everybody free school, but those Republicans wouldn't let me do it. So it's a pretty easy thing for him to do, especially when he must know that the stats aren't really supportive of this. California has the lowest tuition in the state, or excuse me, in the country, and they don't have the highest graduation rates. There's higher graduation rates in states that have double or triple the tuition.
Is he, in this case, many ways, just using the people who can't afford a community college education or any college education as fools?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he does this all the time, or at least he tries to act like he's helping these people. But there already are Pell Grants and those kinds of things for people who can't afford to go to school. So I don't think it's even going to help the kind of people he's saying it's going to help. But nobody really looks that closely at it enough to even notice how much he's just totally playing everybody.
Katherine, how much of a pushback maybe should there be here from people saying, all right, wait, it's nice that we have an educated America because 29 other nations around the world are better at us in math, but at the same breath, that means we have to teach the kids in grade school and in high school who aren't getting decent education. Our public school system is a disaster in many cities, and I don't see anybody wanting to spend money there.
Right, we should take a look at the fact that 60% of these students now, they go to college and they find that they need to take remedial courses. So I think that we should be focusing on that because we can send them to college all they want, but if they can't graduate, then it's not going to do any good and just be a waste of money.
Is this almost reprehensible by the president in the way that he would use people in this way just to score nothing more than political points and even legacy points for himself?
Right, I was just going to say legacy points. I think that that's a huge part of it, but this isn't anything really new, and we shouldn't really be surprised by this because he's been doing this for a while. He knows that this isn't ever going to happen. He doesn't have to come up with the money. He never said how he would come up with the money, but he knows he won't have to because this will never go through. And
again, you mentioned Pell Grants a couple of minutes ago. Why not increase the amount of money that you can get in a Pell Grant? Stop me if I'm crazy here, but doesn't it seem like a more logical thing to do?
It seems logical, but you don't need to be logical when you're talking about a pipe dream, when you're talking about just a talking point that you know you'll never have to actually back up.
What kind of reaction do you think this will get amongst people who want to go to community college? They'll probably be very happy, won't they? At least for a short time.
They will, especially because a lot of people just read headlines and they don't look into, oh, hey, we've never said how we're going to fund this. And, oh, hey, you know, this isn't really going to do any good. There's no proof it's going to do any good. So I think that there'll be a lot of people excited about it, and then they'll all get mad at Republicans when it doesn't go through.
And there's our job, to go ahead and bring down some facts to this on a daily basis. Katherine Timpf, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks so much. Look forward to the next time.
Thank you.
All right, short break. We return with the Sunday Sounders. And next hour here on MidPoint, and telling it like it is, I will challenge every single one of my broadcast peers to never again interview a fraud Islamic cleric who uses us to push his meaningless dialogue.